Oh, baby, look at that planet. God dang. Shit's literally looking like some candy from over here. The freaking ring, like red water planet. Does it get any better? I don't think so. So, either way, what up, my dudes? Wanted to talk about the top 5 missing features in No Man's Sky, still things No Man's Sky still needs after No Man's Sky Beyond and Foundation and all the other updates that they have. I know it seems, and this is something I've noticed in the broad scale sense of the community of No Man's Sky and just the standard, like, content creators and stuff. A lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them seem to get this vibe like, after every update that they come out with No Man's Sky, it's like they say, No Man's Sky is finally fixed. No Man's Sky is finally the game it needs to be. Acting like No Man's Sky just doesn't need anything else. Like, oh my God, No Man's Sky is just perfect. We've got everything we ever wanted. All this shit. And I just say that's a load of bullshit because it's not. Now, have they certainly added a lot of new things and a lot of things we did want and a lot of content, a lot of things to the game over all the updates? Yes, they most certainly have. I'm not disagreeing with you there, but it's not like they've just completely fixed the game and everything's just great in the game and there's nothing wrong with the game and, oh my God, they've done everything that I ever wanted or we all ever wanted. It's not like that. People, I don't know why they try to, I don't know if they're trying to make clickbaity titles on YouTube or if it's like, I don't know what, trying to grab people's attention, like, this is finally the No Man's Sky we all wanted. You know what I mean? Like, everybody and their absolute grandmother has made a No Man's Sky video like that. Oh, did I call some of you dudes out? Yeah, I fucking did. Like, a lot of them have done that, but if you really understand the original vision for No Man's Sky, me being an absolute day one, and when I say day one, I'm talking day one when they first announced it, like, at E3, what the hell, when the hell was that? Like 2014, some shit? I sat there and followed every single interview, every single trailer, every single bit of information years before the game ever came out, and then played it when the game first came out, and I've been to at least 1,000 planets, played every single update. I may have been to more than 1,000. I know I've at least been to 1,000 in this game. I've got a really broad, general idea of what the hell is going on with this game, what they were supposed to have in this game, what it was supposed to have. The true, whoa, look at those eyes, dog. Only a mother could love. Good God, bro. So I've experienced every step of the journey when it comes to the No Man's Sky experience. And this is in no particular order, but let's get this shit started, okay? Top 5 things that are still missing even after Beyond, all right? So, first of all, and I know I'm not the first person to say this, and I've been saying this since the game very first came out. Every one of these things I'm about to say, I've literally already said this shit, 2 years ago when the game first came out. I already said all this. It's just I have to rehash it because they still haven't put it into the game, still haven't done it in the game. So, number 1 is things in space. Why is space still so generic? Like, why can we not land on asteroids? Why is there not space creatures, space whales? Why is there not, landing on an asteroid, building a base on an asteroid, building a space base, that whole vibe? Like, I feel like that would be so easy for them to do. I cannot believe they haven't done that yet, really. And, being able to actually, create a full base in space, have full multiplayer on asteroid space combat, cool ass shit like that. Have pirates out in space that actually have bases on asteroids, and that's just the generic what could be in space. That's not even getting to creative or wild with it. You could get even way more creative, have random ass weird cool wormhole style obviously they have black holes in the game and stuff like that, but cool in space random random things that just get generated out of nowhere and then just warp your ship to another solar system and you had no control over it. That would be kind of badass, kind of frustrating too, but that would be kind of cool if that happened every once in a blue moon, just to be kind of cool, and more stuff in space in the sense of there's just so many, especially being like a sci-fi, this is No Man's Sky is not even trying to be like super realistic. It's got the whole sci-fi element, so you could play on that and do all different kinds of shit in space. Man, I don't even have to really explain it because there's so many things you could do in space in this game. Look at this kid. Holy God. That literally looks like that's off of Beetlejuice or something. Jesus Christ, bro. Got a lot of flying creatures on this planet. But, yeah, that whole sort of in space vibe. Hell, even being able to, like, I don't know, you could have cool, like, I don't really know how to explain this, but like shards of planets, like a planet exploded, and it's like, how big a moon is in this game, maybe like 1/10 of the size of a moon, but it's like half of a sharded, cool, interesting planet that you can go down and fly to and still land on it, but it's like a really like warped, fucked up, like dimensional warped planet or something cool, really cool things like that, or like have some sort of water, like a water, I'm just throwing crazy ideas out here right now, but have like some kind of water, some like big cluster form of water just out in space, and you can fly to it, right? And it's like you fly into water, you know what I'm saying? And then you can like get out in your ship and swim, even though you're in space, but it's like this huge cluster of water. It's like this big, I mean, not like super huge or anything, you know what I'm saying? But and have varying sizes of it, but just basically have like a square or circular water pond or ocean in space that you can fly into or get out into, you know what I mean? And be able to do that. And I don't see why you can't like just get out of your ship in space and just, kind of just boost around in space. I don't see why you have to be in a ship in space. And that would work so cool. Like if you could land on an asteroid and then just boost up in the air and then boost to another asteroid. They've got to like figure out their whole gravity vibe in space, but just have lower gravity. Not necessarily like no gravity. I mean, you want to be able to get back to your ship, but you just want to have lower gravity to where you can just kind of, almost like you're in water in a sense in this game, to where you can kind of just boost any sort of direction you want to. They could kind of make space like that, you could just kind of use your thruster as your in space, actual movement, you know what I'm saying? So you could just like boost straight out into space from a planet if you wanted to. If you somehow had unlimited boosters on your actual, character itself, you could just boost way out into space, and then boost to another planet, even though that would take a century and a half. But you get my point, though. They need more stuff in space. They need more mysterious things, more, like planets actually rotating, being able to go to suns, all that kind of cool shit. There's a lot that they can do with that. So that's one thing, okay? So another thing that No Man's Sky still needs is it still needs the whole, like, variation aspect of it. And I really think that Sean Murray is going to do this at some point. He just still hasn't done it. Like, as far as more creature sizes, more creature variation, more biome variation, ice planets, full-blown desert dune planets, taller trees, bigger true jungle planets, like the whole 9 yards when it comes to all that. Like I said, actually having ice planets, lava planets, cool random shit like that. Have like actually not lava, but kind of like lava, but it's like acid, shit in planets and cool stuff like that. Crazy tall mountain, crazy wicked ass looking formation planets. Instead of having every planet that looks more like a Earth layout, he needs to get a little bit, Sean Murray and Hello Games need to get a little bit more variation in how the planets can actually look. Like, you want to have some planets that have that more earthy sort of layout where it's like standard rolling hills and oceans and then ponds and shit like that. But you also want crazy ass alien looking planets where it's just like 500-foot tall spires all over the planet, and then like crazy desert dune, rolling dune planets where the entire planet is just desert dunes and there's literally nothing else on it, no resources, no plants, no, there's got to be some planets that can be like that, where there's no trees, no rocks, no plants, no nothing, no sentinels, nothing. It's literally just a full planet of dunes. You know what I'm saying? Just strictly as dunes. Like, they really need that kind of stuff in No Man's Sky. Am I running into some kind of glitch here? What the hell is going on? That the water literally is like up over the terrain over there. What the fuck? Yeah, I'm running into some kind of glitch. Like the creatures are like on land creatures are in the water and stuff like that. But it's just a variation all the way around, dog. More creature animations. Being able to have bigger creatures on land and in the water, way bigger creatures, you know what I'm saying? Not just a little bit. This ain't baby, all I need is a little bit. This is a lot of bit. I want megalodon and a half size creatures under the water. I'm talking gigantic. I'm talking swallow your fucking submarine underwater. Literally could swallow 10 of your submarines underwater. And that's kind of the thing about the space creatures, you know what I mean? You could have like giant fucking space creatures that could damn near look like they could swallow a planet. You know what I mean? Like Titanic size underwater creatures and space creatures that can literally actually swallow your ship in space. We need all that. We need those kind of creatures. We need way more creature variation, way more plant, rock, all of that kind of thing variation, way taller trees, way more like smaller bush models and stuff in the forest to make them feel more thick and like an actual jungle would feel like, you know what I mean? We need more of all of that shit. Let me get over here to this other planet real quick. And yeah, we just need all of that. Really, they need that just whole variation side of everything. More variation to the NPCs and the factions, actually procedurally generated factions, truly full-blown procedurally generated factions, ships, planets, creatures, and I know they are procedurally generated as it is currently to a certain extent, but that whole procedural generation and what it can make needs to be multiplied by literally like 1,000,000 on everything. Creature procedural generation, planet generation, biome generation, NPC generation, all that shit needs to be multiplied by 1,000,000 to actually have that true variation that No Man's Sky needs. And that's still something that we don't really have in the game. You're not going to go in the water and see a megalodon-sized creature. It's just not going to happen. You're not going to land on land and see a full-blown, like, skyscraper-sized creature. It's just not really going to happen. You're not going to land on a planet like a snow planet and see ice everywhere. It's not going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, they got a lot of stuff they really need to do with that. And the full ocean planets that all there is ocean on the entire planet. All there is water on the entire planet. And give us that system to where this is almost damn near like that right here, But making it to where we can just jump out of our ship or fly our ship down into the water somehow or something to where we can actually land on a planet that's literally 100% water like they said we would have at the very beginning, but they still have never put into this game, and the whole landing on asteroids and all that kind of shit. But either way, that's another big thing. Now, another thing is actually having true nighttime planets, true dark nighttime. You remember in some of those early E3 trailers where it literally looked like, what the hell is going on right now? I've got some sort of bug going on. I can't even pull up my fucking multi-tool. What in the absolute fuck is going on? I have no clue, boys. No clue at all. Some kind of bug. Can't even see my multi-tool at all. Literally looks like I'm pissing a laser right now. But either way, you know how it is when you go on a nighttime side of a planet. It just doesn't really look like full-blown nighttime. It's kind of like a cartoony nighttime of a planet, They need to make their nighttime sides of planets a lot darker, a lot more spooky, like a lot more, like luminescing creatures and luminescing plants on some planets, and have other planets where they're literally like pitch black and like creatures are jumping out at you and shit, and it's like really dark. They got to capture that vibe. And I personally think they need to make their day and night cycles a lot longer. I think they go too quick. I think it feels like, you land down on the noon side of a planet and it's dark within 2.5 seconds. Not literally, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it feels like it goes to the dark night way too quick. And the dark side of the planets are just so boring and uninteresting, and they don't really feel like true dark night sides of planets that you feel like you just want to go to the daytime sides of planets all the time, right? Literally landing in a orange juice ocean right now. You know what I'm saying? So they really got to, have a full-blown update to nighttime sides of planets and full TLC, and having the flashlight really be more of an aspect to being on the nighttime side of a planet versus just being in a cave. They need to make some of the caves more pitch black as well, and have more variation to the way the caves can be designed, like just variation in every aspect on that side of things, man. Okay, so either way, moving on, another thing is they've got to get to that point to where they start resetting the server whenever they, what is this glitch? Look at this water. The water is like going up out of the water. I don't even know how that's possible. What the absolute hell? But yeah, the other thing basically I was saying is resetting the online servers and not being able to continue. If you update your game, it wipes your saves. Sean Murray, Hello Games, you have got to have this in your game at some point. You can't keep allowing people to have previous saves where they've literally discovered 1,000 planets on it throughout every single update, when the game totally changes and the way the planets are generated and everything about the planets completely change every update. You can't keep allowing older saves and older discoveries whenever people are doing that. And whenever you're adding full-blown new multiplayer elements, you've got to be able to wipe the servers and the saves every time you come out with a massive update. You have to do that, or it's going to give it this weird alienated, very, very alienated feeling to it. I can't even jetpack. What the fuck? Okay, there we go. It's going to give it this weird alienated feeling where it's like some people are still in an older update they're way further down along in their journey to the center of the galaxy. You know what I'm saying? Then you come out with an update and then you add a whole new quest system and a whole new introductory to the game, but yet some people are still on their older saves. Some people are on their newer saves. You got discoveries of older planets and shit, and when you try to go to those planets, the planet's not even there anymore because the entire generations of the planets are completely changed. I noticed that on one of the very first updates you put into this game, like a foundation update or one of those. I literally would try to go to some of my older planets and it would just wipe my discovery like I'd never even discovered that planet, because that original planet wasn't even there anymore. It was like a whole different planet in a different placement. You've got to start resetting the servers, not only for just the multiplayer side of it, but also your game changes so much, and the whole discovering creatures and everything to the game, there's no way that you can keep those old discoveries and then go to a new update where you've totally changed the generation of the planets and the creatures and then keep your older discoveries. That's impossible. It's literally impossible. You can't do that. You have got to start resetting the servers, Sean Murray. You've got to do it, dog. But either way, that's another really big aspect to the game. Wow, how has this water turned from literal, orange juice water to like blood red? That's pretty badass. But yeah, it's just like the creature pathing and being able to just have one giant creature on literally a creature so big on one planet that you can see it from outer space. You can see the creature from outer space. He's so big. And it's like you could have a planet where it's just one huge boss creature with a shitload of health on him. You know what I'm saying? Look at that sick-ass predatorial underwater creature that's fast as fuck. Wow, he's fast. All right, literally like cheetah level fast underwater. But that's about one of the biggest, gnarliest underwater predatorial creatures that you can find in this game. He's literally like about the size of a real life orca. You know what I'm saying? Like, why can I not run into something that's 100 times the size of that underwater? You need deeper oceans, taller mountains. Like, the list just goes on and on for the shit that this game has got to have sooner than later. When I go underwater at nighttime, it should not be to where I can literally see everything underwater. It should actually be dark underwater, and you need to add the whole murky underwater system, and the creatures that are like water and land creatures, like not sharks, but you know, kind of like alligators or hippos or penguins, you know, that are actually like land and water creatures, versus just having like squids that are only under the water, and then fucking, you know, creatures that are only on land. You need to have some creatures that can fly and go in the water. Some creatures that can, you know, be like land, water, and air creatures. I mean, there's so many different fucking things they could do with that. So that's some of the top 5 things that I still want to see, that we still need, desperately need in No Man's Sky. Like some massive gameplay aspects to the game that we still really need, and I'm probably not thinking of everything in my head right now, but those are certainly some of the true heavy hitter. And personally, I want to see a little bit more of a realistic graphical touch put into the game as well, on top of everything else. Oh, and another little thing, if I didn't already name 5 things, here's another little thing. The whole aspect of, I feel like in normal mode of this game, you don't need to be able to spawn your ship anywhere you want to. Even in the normal mode, like, you shouldn't be able to just warp your ship right in front of you. Remember when the game first came out and you couldn't do that? He needs to revert back to that for the normal mode of the game, right? And also, even in the normal mode, you shouldn't be able to see the little red paws pop up when you have a predatorial creature running at you. It should just be completely random and like spook you and be like a totally random thing. You know what I'm saying? They need to have like a super easy mode of the game that allows you to warp your ship and have those little red icons that pop up when you have the predatorial creature, but that shouldn't be the way it is in the normal mode of the game. Like, I shouldn't have to go play the most hardcore of the hardcore versions of the game and, you know, gameplay modes of the game just to not have like some of the most simple, you know, quality of life things in the game. Like, that should not be in normal mode. They need to basically like take all the quality of life things, the super quality of life things anyways, out of the normal mode, put that in a super easy mode, and then have that true real No Man's Sky from the original experience that we all was thinking in the normal mode, and then also have your super hard mode that's like on a next level difficulty. But your normal mode needs to be more of a normal mode, not like a every single hand holding, you know, quality of life thing in your normal mode. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, they need to take some of that shit out and put that in a way easier mode, and then have like their hard mode in there as well, but have their normal mode be more of a true normal mode and not like a super hand holding your hand quality of life mode, right? So either way, that's it, man. Top 5 things I still want to see in No Man's Sky. Top 5 things they still need to put in No Man's Sky. And basically, with everything I've said with this, there's like a trillion different things to it. You know what I mean? Like, when I talk about variation, there's just so many things to that. It's not even funny, dude. But either way, dudes, appreciate you guys watching all the videos. Later.